Hello again. I'm Naina Konich, Assistant Professor, Department of English, SN College, Varkala. Today, we'll be discussing the poem Trophic Cascade by Kamal T. Tangi. This is also a part of Semester 2 Jan English Environmental Studies paper for the University of Kerala students. The term trophic cascade was actually coined by Robert Payne, who is an American zoologist. One of the most exciting scientific findings of the past half century has been the discovery of widespread trophic cascade. It is an ecological process which starts at the top of the food chain and slowly but surely moves down to the bottom. The classical example is what happened in the Yellowstone National Park in the United States when wolves were reintroduced in 1995. Kamal T. Tangi, in her poem Trophic Cascade, gives us a systematic list of the re-emergence of many species in the wake of reintroduction of the grey wolves. We all are familiar with the fact that wolves are carnivorous animals, killing and eating various species of animals. But the reality is that they give life to many others. They have been absent for about 70 years in the park. The numbers of deer has increased in a large number in the park, and despite efforts by humans to control them, the deer population managed to reduce much of the vegetation drastically. They just grazed it away. As soon as the wolves were reintroduced, even though they were very few in number, they inevitably had the most remarkable effects. Now, I'm going to list or catalog the results or the impact in the ecosystem of the park. First and foremost, of course, they began the hunting of the deer population, which in turn radically changed the behavior pattern of the deer. Second, deer started avoiding certain parts of the park, especially the places where they could be trapped easily, particularly the valleys and the gorges. Obviously, these places started to regenerate immediately, where the height of the trees quintupled in just a matter of 5 to 6 years. Third, bare valleys became forests of aspen, willows, cottonwood, and many other trees. Fourth, immediately with the growth of plants, different species of birds moved in. Songbirds and migratory birds increased in great number. Fifth, the number of beavers started to increase because beavers like to eat the trees, and as we all know, they are one of the pioneer ecosystem engineers of nature. And the dams they built in the rivers provided habitats for otters, muskrats, weasels, water shrew, and many other rodent families. Ducks, fishes, reptiles, amphibians thrived in the runnels and streams. 6. The wolves killed coyotes, as a result of which the number of snowshoe hares and mice began to increase. 7. This also meant mohawks, falcons, bald eagle, kestrels, ravens, and vultures. They also consumed the carrion or the decaying flesh of dead animals. 8. Bears fed on it too, and their population increased automatically, partly also because there were more berries growing on the regenerating plants, and also by the killing of the babies or calves of the deer. Ninth, and the distinct facts of all, the wolves changed the behavior flow of the rivers. The rivers began to meander less and less. There was less of soil erosion, more pools and channels and ruffle sections were formed, which is ultimately, great for wildlife habitats. The rivers changed in response to the wolves. The reason being the revived forest, which in turn stabilized the banks, which earlier collapsed or overflowed less. The vegetation stabilized as well. So the wolves, you can see, has transformed not just the ecosystem of Yellowstone National Park, but also its physical geography. The poet concludes her narration as to how a single person or a species, no matter how small they are, can change the course of history and the future of nature and ecosystem. Thank you.